You know that moment when you close Instagram and immediately reopen it? Or when you finish a whole season on Netflix and somehow feel more tired than before you started? Your brain feels foggy, you can't focus, even simple tasks feel heavy. And you tell yourself you're just lazy or undisciplined or bad at time management. But what if it's not laziness at all? What if your brain is actually overwhelmed, not by effort, but by stimulation? Today, we're talking about digital burnout and what's actually happening inside your brain when scrolling stops feeling fun and starts feeling draining. Because once you understand this, you'll stop blaming yourself. Digital burnout isn't just too much screen time. It's what happens when your nervous system never gets to power down, when your brain is constantly switching, reacting, comparing, consuming. And if you've been feeling wired but tired, distracted but restless, overstimulated but weirdly empty, you're not broken. Your brain is just overloaded. Let's break down what's really going on. First, your dopamine system is getting hijacked. Think about scrolling. Every swipe is a tiny mystery box. Maybe it's funny, maybe it's shocking, maybe it's boring, but your brain doesn't know until you reveal it. That unpredictability, that's powerful. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz found that dopamine spikes most strongly in response to unpredictable rewards, not guaranteed ones. Slot machines use this principle. So do social feeds. So when you scroll, your brain is in constant anticipation mode, tiny hits over and over. At first, it feels good, stimulating, entertaining. But here's the catch. When dopamine spikes constantly, your baseline shifts. Regular life, like doing laundry, studying, having a slow conversation, suddenly feels flat. Not because those things are bad, but because your brain has been trained to expect fireworks. And when fireworks become normal, candles feel invisible. If you've ever tried to focus on work after an hour of reels and thought, why can't I concentrate? That's not weakness, that's contrast. Your brain adapted. And adaptation isn't failure, it's biology. But that's just the beginning. Second, your attention system is fragmenting. Every notification, every tab, every quick check. Your brain isn't designed for constant context switching. Psychologist Gloria Mark has studied attention for years and found that the average person switches tasks every few minutes, and it takes time for your brain to fully re-engage each time. Even tiny interruptions create attention residue. Part of your mind stays stuck on the last thing. So when you bounce from TikTok to email to text message to YouTube to back again, your brain never fully lands anywhere. It's like trying to have 5 conversations at once. No wonder you're exhausted. You're not bad at focusing. You're training your brain to expect novelty every 15 seconds. And attention is like a muscle. The more you interrupt it, the weaker it feels. But here's the part most people miss. Digital burnout isn't just about attention. It's about emotional overload. Every time you scroll, you're absorbing dozens of emotional cues. Someone's engagement announcement, someone's breakup story, political outrage, a gym transformation, a tragedy, a meme, a luxury vacation. Your nervous system reacts to it all, even if you don't consciously care. Psychologist Herbert Freudenberger, who first described burnout in the 1970s, noticed that emotional exhaustion often comes from chronic exposure to stress signals without recovery time. Social media compresses hundreds of emotional experiences into minutes. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between lived experience and observed experience. It still processes threat, comparison, loss, excitement. And it adds up. You might not feel dramatic anxiety, but you feel drained. That low-grade heaviness, that's emotional fatigue. And then there's comparison. Social comparison theory, introduced by Leon Festinger, explains that humans naturally evaluate themselves against others. Online, you're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Your brain quietly keeps score. Career progress, relationships, appearance, productivity. Even if you tell yourself you don't care.
Somewhere in the background, your brain is asking, am I behind? That constant evaluation consumes mental bandwidth. So by the time you log off, you're not just tired, you're subtly questioning yourself. Now, here's the part nobody talks about. Digital burnout can also numb pleasure. When stimulation is constant, your brain protects itself by dulling responsiveness. It's a balancing act. Too much input, lower sensitivity. So things that used to feel enjoyable, like reading, hobbies, even hanging out with friends, can feel muted. Not because you're depressed, but because your brain is recalibrating. It's like turning down the volume after a loud concert. The silence feels strange at first, but it's recovery. And here's the hopeful part. Your brain is incredibly plastic. Neuroscientist Michael Merzenich showed that the brain reorganizes based on repeated experience. The same way it adapted to rapid digital input, it can adapt back. Not overnight, but gradually. When you give your brain longer stretches of monotasking, when you allow boredom without immediately escaping it, when you create small tech-free pockets. You're not detoxing in a dramatic way, you're retraining your reward system. You're teaching your nervous system that calm is safe, and that's powerful. So if you've been feeling foggy, distracted, emotionally drained after scrolling, I want you to hear this clearly. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're responding normally to an environment designed to capture your attention. Digital burnout isn't a personal flaw. It's information. It's your brain saying, I need space. Not from technology forever, but from constant stimulation. And maybe the first step isn't deleting every app. Maybe it's just noticing. Notice how you feel before you open your phone. Notice how you feel after 20 minutes. No judgment, just awareness. Because once you understand what's happening in your brain, shame loses its grip, and you get to choose differently. So I'm curious, when do you notice digital burnout the most? Late at night? After work? On weekends? Drop your experience in the comments. You're not the only one feeling this. And if this helped you understand your brain a little bit better, subscribe to Psychology Brief. We break down the science of your mind in ways that actually make sense. Your brain isn't failing you, it's adapting, and you can guide that adaptation.